The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. $1.87 was all that Della had. She counted it 3 times to make sure. That was all the money she had, and tomorrow would be Christmas. Della finished her cry. She stood by the window and looked out dully at a gray cat walking a gray fence in a gray backyard. Tomorrow would be Christmas Day, and she had only $1.87 with which to buy Jim a present. She had been saving every penny she could for months, with this result. $20 a week doesn't go far. Expenses had been greater than she had calculated. They always are. Only $1.87 to buy a present for Jim. Her Jim. Many a happy hour she had spent planning for something nice for him. Something fine and rare and sterling. Something just a little bit near to being worthy of the honor of being owned by Jim. Now there were 2 possessions of the Youngs in which they both took a great deal of pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. The other was Della's hair. Della's beautiful hair fell about her ripplings and shining like a cascade of brown waters. It reached below her knee and made itself almost a garment for her. Della put on her old brown jacket and her old brown hat. She scurried out the door and down the stairs to the street. Where she stopped, the sign read, Mrs. Sophronie, hair goods of all kinds. One flight up Della ran and collected herself, panting. "Will you buy my hair?" asked Della. "I buy hair," said Madame. "Take your hat off and let's have a look at it." Down rippled the brown cascade. $20, said Madame, lifting the mass with a practiced hand. "Give it to me quick," said Della. Della collected her $20 and spent the next few hours ransacking the stores in search for the perfect gift for Jim. She found it at last. It surely had been made for Jim and no one else. There was no other like it in any of the stores, and she had turned all of them inside out. It was a platinum fob chain, simple in chest and design. It would be perfect for Jim to hang his precious watch on. It cost Della $21, almost all of the money she had. Jim will certainly not be happy that I cut off all of my beautiful hair, she said to herself. But what could I have done with only $1.87? Before long, Della heard Jim's footsteps on the stairs. She hoped and prayed that Jim will still think she was pretty, even with such short hair. The door opened and Jim stepped in and closed it. He looked thin and very serious. Poor fellow, he needed a new overcoat and he was without gloves. Jim stopped inside the door. His eyes were fixed upon Della, and there was an expression in them that she could not read, and it terrified her. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor disapproval, nor horror, nor any of the sentiments that she had been prepared for. He simply stared at her fixedly with that peculiar expression on his face. "Jim, darling," Della cried, "don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold because I couldn't have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. It'll grow out again. You won't mind, will you? I just had to do it. My hair grows awfully fast. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I've got for you." "You've cut off your hair?" asked Jim. "Cut it off and sold it," said Della. "Don't you like me just as well anyhow? I'm still me without my hair, aren't I?" Jim looked about the room curiously. "You say your hair is gone?" he said with an air of almost of idiocy. Out of his trance, Jim seemed quickly to wake. He hugged his Della. Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon a table. "Don't make any mistake, Della," he said, "about me. I don't think there's anything in the way of a haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. But if you unwrap that package, you will see why you had me going a while at first." Della unwrapped a package with a quickness and suddenly started to cry. Her sobs were uncontrollable. For there lay the combs, the set of combs that Della had worshipped long in a store window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell, with jeweled rims that were just the shade to wear in a beautiful vanished hair. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. And now they were hers, but the tresses that should have adorned the coveted adornments were gone. But she hugged them to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and a smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." And then Della leaped like a little cat and cried, "Oh, oh!" Jim had not yet seen his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. The dull, precious metal seemed to flash with reflection of her bright and ardent spirit. "Isn't it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch." "I want to see how it looks on it." Instead of obeying, Jim, blah. Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. "Dell," said he, "I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs. The Magi were wise men who brought gifts to the babe in a manger. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones. Jim and Della were most unwisely sacrificed for each other, the greatest treasures of their house. But let it be said that all of who give gifts, these two were the wisest. They were the Magi. Merry Christmas, everyone, and cheers to a great 2026.